Right now on ABC 10 News at 4, the gunman in the deadly Poway synagogue shooting sentenced to life in prison. Loved ones of the victims addressed him directly in court, and we're going to be live with all the details. Plus, today is the deadline for California's healthcare workers to comply with the vaccine mandate. What happens to those who choose not to get vaccinated? And a story that is positively San Diego, what a local organization is doing to draw awareness to homelessness impacting hundreds of young San Diegans.
ABC 10 News starts now with breaking news.
That breaking news, a jury has reached a verdict on the fate of Jesse Gomez. He's the man guilty of killing a San Diego police officer. The verdict is being read right now in the courtroom as we speak. Jesse Gomez, of course, shot Officer J.D. de Guzman multiple times as he sat in his squad car back in 2016. He also shot J.D.'s partner, Wade Irwin, in the neck. Now, the jury spent a couple of days deliberating in the penalty phase of that trial. They were trying to determine whether Gomez should be sentenced to death or life in prison. Of course, we do have a crew in the courthouse, and we will bring you an update as soon as we get it.
How could you kill my beautiful, loving sister? You are an animal. You deserve to be locked up forever like a diseased animal.
The Poway synagogue shooter was formally sentenced today to life in prison without the possibility of parole, but not before he sat and listened to emotional statements from the victims, including the loved ones of Lori Kay. She was the woman that he killed when he opened fire on the Chabad of Poway in April of 2019. Thanks for joining us. I'm Steve Atkinson. Kimberly Hunt has the night off tonight. ABC 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena was at the courthouse this morning as those people finally got a chance to speak to John Earnest directly. And Lindsay, John Earnest really had to hear a lot today.
He sure did, Steve. Now, as you said, this was sentencing, but there was never a trial in this case. John Earnest, of course, pleading guilty to the crimes against him, but that meant there was never any testimony. There was never any chance for those affected by his crimes to share how they felt. But today, they got that chance.
One of the first to speak Thursday morning was Lori Kay's older sister, Ellen Edwards.
What do you say in front of the person who killed my sister? I hate you. But that just doesn't seem enough. And I think you should turn around. I want to just see your face and just look in your eyes, Mr. Earnest.
After her comments, the court was informed that Earnest was not allowed to turn away from the table. He pleaded guilty to shooting and killing 60-year-old Kay and injuring 3 others, including a child, at the Chabad of Poway in April of 2019. Earnest admitted to investigators that the attack was fueled by ideas of white supremacy and hatred towards Jews. Also addressing the court was Lori's husband, Dr. Howard Kay.
True, with the loss of Lori, it's left my daughter and myself with deep loneliness, which with time gets no better.
His daughter was the last to speak. She too was at the Chabad during the shooting, recalling the last moments of her mother's life.
My mother tried to run for her life. She wanted to live another day. She wanted to survive.
Afterwards, San Diego County District Attorney Summer Stephan had this to say about Earnest.
And to take out the life of a defenseless, unarmed woman and to try to kill an 8-year-old child is the definition of being a coward.
Now, in court today, we learned that John Earnest did put in a request to speak, but the judge denied that request, saying that he would not give him a platform to spew any more hatred. Now, John Earnest also pleaded guilty to federal charges. He's expected to be sentenced for those in December. We're reporting live downtown at the courthouse. Lindsay Pena, ABC 10 News. Steve.
Quite a day. Lindsay, thank you. And within the last week, Governor Gavin Newsom also signed a bill aimed at closing a loophole that allowed the gunman to buy his weapon. ABC 10 News first discovered that loophole after the shooting back in 2019. Our reporting from John Horn. It allowed Earnest to use a state hunting license to purchase the gun, but his hunting license wasn't yet valid. We found out the state doesn't check the validity of those licenses during its background check. Otherwise, Earnest's purchase would have been flagged. Under the new law, those checks will happen with an automatic system starting July of 2025. Now to coronavirus. Today, deadline for California healthcare workers to get vaccinated or file for an exemption. Our ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell shows us the other high-risk situations that have been added to this vaccine mandate.
Healthcare workers have until today to show proof they've gotten at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine or have filed for an exemption as mandated by the state. So far, Sharp Healthcare says almost 92% of their total workforce are vaccinated, while 539 are still unvaccinated. Scripps Health says about 93% of its workforce have been vaccinated, with about 140 employees who have not complied or received an exemption. That's less than 1% of its workforce. If they aren't compliant by the end of the day, Scripps says they will be fired. But Scripps adds they will hire them back if they get vaccinated. Other local health systems, including Kaiser and Palomar Health, are putting non-compliant employees on unpaid leave for a month or two before they face termination. ABC 10 News spoke with a nurse who has worked for Rady Children's Hospital for more than 12 years. She doesn't believe a vaccine mandate will keep patients and staff safe.
Those of us who are not vaccinated are the safest people in the room with these pediatric patients. We are tested twice a week. We wear PPE. And so the other nurses who have decided to get the vaccine, they are not tested. And as we know, those who have even had the full series of COVID vaccinations can still come down with the disease. They can still be infected.
Earlier this week, the state health department sent this letter out saying all workers in adult and senior care facilities and in home care services must also be vaccinated by the end of November. The letter cites among the nearly 20,000 confirmed COVID-19 outbreaks in the state during the pandemic, 47% were connected to high-risk settings such as adult and senior care facilities or in-home care services, where they say many cases have been tracked back to those who are not vaccinated. Marie Coronel, ABC 10 News.
Also tonight, a judge has denied a local challenge to block California's mask mandates in schools. The groups Let Them Breathe and Reopen California Schools, they had an emergency hearing in Vista this morning. They requested a temporary restraining order to prevent the state from enforcing its mask mandate in schools. Now, they claimed it's harmful to students. But the judge said she was not convinced the situation in schools was urgent enough to justify that order. She set a full hearing for November the 8th to hear arguments for a preliminary injunction. In a statement, the Let Them Breathe founders said in part, the state confirmed in this hearing that they care more about expanding their power than doing what is best for our children. And happening tonight, San Diego Unified parents can get their questions answered about these COVID vaccines. The district is holding a virtual forum with district leaders and health professionals. And this comes after the school board approved a vaccine mandate, as we've been talking about. Students 16 and older must get their first dose by November the 29th and their second at least by December the 20th. If they don't, they will be enrolled in the district's virtual academy. Staff will also need to get their second dose by the 20th of December. Tonight's forum begins at 5:30 here in about an hour and a half. You can find the link to the Zoom meeting on the district website. California's eviction moratorium, that ends today, and that means that tenants who haven't been paying rent, they could be evicted. Those who have applied for the state's rental assistance program will still be protected through March 31st. Now, there is no deadline for the program. It will simply continue to issue money until it gives out all of the $5.2 billion in federal funding it received. There are also local programs for assistance. And we have more information on 10news.com/rebound. In the meantime, firefighters stopped a brush fire before it got out of hand. Sky 10 captured the firefight from above. That 15-acre fire broke out in Vista earlier this afternoon, and this was near Spur Avenue and Hutchison Street. Vista Unified dismissed Mission Vista High and Mission Meadows Elementary Schools because of the power outage because of this fire. No reports of any injuries or damage. All right, let's turn to our forecast. A live look outside. It is gorgeous on San Diego Bay right now. We all need to be on that boat, too, first of all. But speaking of those fires, it was dry and hot out there. Big change from the last couple of days.
If you're the coast and you have a boat like that, no problems.
Yeah.
If you head east, completely different story. The winds out of the east are bringing back Santa Ana conditions and fire danger. So we saw that fire, they put it away really quickly, and that is really good news because the conditions that we're in right now would spread any fire very, very quickly, but we know our firefighters are very skilled. The winds out of the east are starting to subside already, which is really good news. But that offshore flow is going to continue into this evening. Relative relative humidity down to about 8% in Warner Springs. We will start to see a little bit more moisture as we head into tomorrow with those winds subsiding, but the pattern is going to be warm with temperatures above average as we head into the weekend. I'll break it all down and I'll show you in the next cool down in our 7-day forecast.
Look forward to that, Angelica. Thank you. And you can monitor weather conditions in your area anytime with our 10 News mobile app. It's free in the App